Chapter 1 Obtaining the Immortal Emperor's Cultivation and Establishing the Kunlun Holy Land. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On a small barren mountain, in front of a dilapidated thatched house, a 16-year-old boy with starry eyes, a straight nose, handsome but ragged clothes was sitting on a small bench. Lying in front of him was a dying, emaciated old man. "Old guy, you said it was all gone. Where's the legacy? Didn't you leave me some legacy? I'm only at the first level of physical training. I'm just a weakling." Ye Chen held the old man's shoulders, his expression extremely helpless. It has been 5 years since he traveled to this fantasy world. He has been wandering around in the past few years, and then he was taken by this old guy, and the two of them depended on each other. This old guy is obviously a beggar, but he always brags that he is a great monk, and then he burps within a few years. "Ahem, I raised you up with shit and urine, and now that I'm about to die, you only care about your inheritance. You little brat." The old guy lectured weakly. At this time, he was so angry that he could hardly hear him unless he put his ear in front of him. Ye Chen was furious. "Don't talk nonsense, I don't eat those things. Didn't you say that you are a great monk? Great monks can also die." Ye Chen shouted angrily, but his eyes were moist, complaining that the old guy died too early. "You brat, our sect is left to you. You must carry it forward." The old guy's breath became weaker. Ye Chen said helplessly, "Then why don't you tell me the name of our broken sect?" After he followed the old guy just taught him a basic body training technique, and he was still talking about establishing a sect. "Look at this hilltop and the dilapidated thatched house. Can this be called a sect?" The old guy suddenly raised his head. I forgot to name the sect." After saying that, he tilted his head and completely burped. Ye Chen screamed in his heart, "Damn it. I'm sorry you haven't named your sect in the past few years. Do you dare to call for establishing a sect? Who gave you the courage?" After burying the old guy with grief, Ye Chen took out an article about basic body training techniques and felt like crying. "In this big fantasy world where big bosses are everywhere, my strength in the first level of body training is inferior to that of a novice." He had long known that this place was called the Great World of Desolate Immortals, one of the 3,000 Great Worlds, and had countless cultivators. The Great World of Huangxian is divided into Dongxing Continent, Shihe Continent, Nanfan Continent, Beiju Continent, and Central China. The place where he is the Tsangtian realm of Dongxing Continent. Although it is only one of the realms of Dongxing Continent, as far as he knows, the area of the Tsangtian realm is many times larger than the blue star in the previous life. In Dongxing Continent, there are a total of 18 places similar to the Tsangtian realm. Therefore, one can imagine how big the entire world of Desolate Immortal is. Take a step and see what happens. Ye Chen was also helpless. Why didn't he have such an awesome physique? For example, the kind that makes crazy breakthroughs as soon as you practice. I am really ashamed of my status as a time traveler. Just when he was about to continue practicing the basic body training techniques, a mechanical voice suddenly sounded in his mind, "Bite." It was detected that the host inherited the name of the sect master, the first sect system in the world awakened, and was successfully bound to the host. "What? Have I awakened the system?" Ye Chen's whole body was shaken, and his pores opened. "Novice gift pack, a copy of the Mahayana cultivation level. Does the host want to receive it?" Ye Chen was pleasantly surprised by the sound of the system. He knew that he was definitely not a disgraceful time traveler, and I was about to cheat. 5 years. 5 whole years. Do you know how I spent these 5 years? But he quickly calmed down and analyzed the loopholes in the system. "System, you said that I was awakened after inheriting the name of the sect leader. What if I fail to become the sect leader? Will you never show up for the rest of my life?" Ye Chen asked warily. "System, in theory, this is the case." Ye Chen was so angry that he immediately broke out the quintessence of Chinese culture. "I'm sorry, isn't this a probabilistic event? Who can guarantee that I will have a chance to become the leader of the clan after traveling through time? Then you want me to die?" System, does the host receive the novice gift pack? Ye Chen was unyielding. and he would not let go of this deceptive dog system easily. If I burp my butt, you still wake up, and you want to get rid of me with this little benefit? You use this to test cadres. Which cadre can't stand this test? Tell me, how can I be compensated for my mental loss, lost work time, and endocrine disorders? System, sizzling. The system is malfunctioning. The novice gift package cannot meet the host's requirements, Zitsizi. Considering that there are loopholes in the system's awakening conditions, in order to compensate for the host's losses, the system is determining the losses. The novice gift pack has been upgraded. Gift package, the cultivation level of the Mahayana period is upgraded to the cultivation level of the Immortal Emperor. Does the host receive it? Ye Chen's eyes widened when he heard about the Immortal Emperor's cultivation. He swallowed hard. Immortal Emperor? Isn't that the top realm of the legendary wild immortal world? Realm division, body refining stage, chi refining stage, foundation building stage, golden elixir stage, yuaning stage, spirit transformation stage, void refining stage, integration stage, Mahayana stage, transcending tribulation stage, true immortal stage, birth immortal stage, heavenly immortal stage, Xianxian period, immortal lord, immortal king, immortal emperor. Once he has the cultivation of the Immortal Emperor, where can he go in the entire wild immortal world? He can even travel through the void and travel through 3,000 worlds. It's easy to destroy a small world with just a raise of your hand, right? He dared not even think about being promoted directly from a rookie in the physical training period to the Supreme Immortal Emperor. Just when he was immersed in his fantasy, the system saw that he had not received the reward, so it silently added compensation. Detecting that the host was still not satisfied with the upgrade package, the system added compensation, a copy of the Wu Shixian bell. Do you want to receive it? Gulp. Ye Chen swallowed his saliva again. Fortunately, he did not agree immediately, otherwise he would have missed the additional reward. This system is really cunning. I have to scold it, right? Really cheap. He deliberately waited for a few minutes, and after seeing that the system did not continue to add rewards, he waved his hand and snorted, "You are sensible. This host will accept it reluctantly." After Ye Chen chose to receive it, a vast and boundless force suddenly descended on him. This is an indescribable power, representing the ultimate realm of the wild fairy world. Above the void, the laws of the Tao appeared, and countless strange phenomena also appeared. Golden lotuses grow in the bitter sea, the immortal king descends upon the ninth heaven, a bright moon rises from the sea, a yin-yang diagram of life and death appears, 3,000 gods and demons kneel together, and purple air comes from the east for 90,000 miles. Countless strange phenomena fill the sky above the entire Tsangtian realm, and this terrifying scene is also seen by everyone. In the Tsangtian realm. Chapter 2 Immortal-level qualifications, rewards for accepting disciples. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Countless visions hang high in the sky, the laws of the great Tao are revealed, and the shocking power of heaven spreads to the entire Tsangtian realm, and then spreads to the entire Dongxing continent, and even the entire wild immortal world. As I write this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. The top powers in the great world of desolate immortals woke up from their retreats one after another. Feeling the power of the godless god above the void, they were all frightened and overwhelmed. What a terrifying aura! Could it be that someone has achieved the position of Immortal Emperor? Who is it? Since the strange demons invaded the world of desolate immortals 30 million years ago, the immortal emperors of this world have either died or traveled to all realms. A new immortal emperor has appeared today. Which immortal king made the breakthrough? That the ancestors of all the top sects and families woke up one after another and were shocked by the power of the immortal emperor, especially the top bosses who had reached the realm of immortal lords and immortal kings were even more shocked. They manifested their true bodies and came to the void one after another, trying to find Ye Chen's location, but I don't know why the secret was obscured by an unknown and vast force, and they couldn't find the exact location. At this time, Ye Chen didn't know that his breakthrough would attract the attention and sensation of the entire Huangxian world. The aura in his body was rising steadily, and he rushed all the way from the body refining realm to the realm of the Immortal Emperor, and reached the peak of the Immortal Emperor. Unprecedented terrifying energy surged through his body, and he felt that he could penetrate Dongxing continent with just a raise of his hand. The stars in the sky are no longer far away, you can easily pick them by looking up. The supreme power flows in the hands, and the whole body seems to contain the laws of heaven in the entire small world. As expected of the Immortal Emperor. It feels so good to be invincible, Ye Chen grinned happily. By the way, there's also the immortal bell of no beginning, he took out this fairy weapon from the system space, and an inexplicable powerful aura filled the world, and wisps of imperial power radiated out. If it weren't for his control, just a ray of imperial power would be enough to turn the entire mountain range to the ground. The Wuxia immortal bell has a simple shape and is engraved with many complicated Taoist patterns. Not only is it an immortal weapon, the Wuxia immortal bell is also a weapon of the Immortal Emperor. It is the top of the line among immortal weapons. It is an imperial weapon. Ye Chen waved his hand, and the immortal bell of no beginning became the size of a palm, floating in the palm of his hand. It was delicate and small, but it contained terrifying power. Okay, please introduce your role. It's best to make me interested, Ye Chen said to the system. This system is the first sect system in the world and aims to create the strongest first sect in the world. The host can obtain various rewards by developing the sect, which complement each other and will never let the host suffer. To dominate the world, become bigger and stronger, and create brilliance, please host take action. After listening to the introduction of the system, Ye Chen was quite satisfied. It was just a matter of developing the sect, which was not difficult for him. The Immortal Emperor, the host can start by recruiting apprentices. The higher the qualifications of the apprentice, the better the rewards will be. Apprentice qualifications. How is this calculated? Ye Chen asked. The qualifications of apprentices can be divided into several levels: mortal level, spiritual level, mysterious level, king level, holy level, immortal level, and emperor level. It's a small matter. By the way, I haven't given the sect a name yet. Let's think of a name first. Ye Chen realized that he didn't even have a name now, so when he accepted a disciple, he at least had to have a sect's name, right? That old guy didn't give the sect a name until he died. I think, let's call it Kunlun Holy Land. The host successfully named the sect and was rewarded with a mountain gate plaque. When he named Kunlun Holy Land, the system's rewards were immediately triggered, and a miniature mountain gate appeared in the system space. Materialize. Ye Chen waved his hand and set the mountain gate at the foot of the mountain. Boom! There was a loud noise, and a huge mountain gate with a height of hundreds of feet appeared. It was luxurious and magnificent. The plaque on it read the 4 characters Kunlun Holy Land. After this plaque came out, the aura of the entire mountain range increased a lot, and even this small mountain peak became mysterious. It's just a mountain gate plaque, but it has amazing effects. If you accept a disciple, I'll come and take a look. Ye Chen immediately released his spiritual consciousness. With his current level of cultivation, it would be a trivial matter for his spiritual consciousness to cover the entire heaven realm. Moreover, with the blessing of the system, he can easily distinguish the qualification level of each person. Soon, he found a candidate with good qualifications nearby. I discovered a seedling with immortal level qualifications so quickly. Then I am really lucky. Ye Chen took a step forward, and a void vortex appeared in front of him. After he entered it, the void vortex closed and disappeared. Cangtian Realm, Tongtian Valley, a figure with a messy aura is being chased by a dozen figures with a powerful aura. Damn it, the Ghost Mansion's methods are too weird, and they are specifically targeting the souls. Now I can't even use any of my abilities. The one who was running for his life was a young man named Mu Yan, about 17 or 18 years old. At this time, his aura was messy and he had obviously been forced into a desperate situation. The people who were chasing him were the people from the Ghost Soul Pavilion. This was a force that specialized in hunting down all kinds of remnant souls and was notorious in the world of Desolate Immortal. Mu Yan has a very powerful residual soul on his body, so they chased him. Useless little guy. All your strength has been exhausted. It's a waste of time to run away. Let your sister love you well. This chapter is not over yet. please click the next page to continue reading. Among the people in the ghost house behind him, there is a beautiful figure. She is very eye-catching in a red skirt. Her two slender white legs are exposed to the air without any scruples, as if every step is stepping on the man's heart. The beautiful woman stretched out her pink tongue to lick her moist red lips, staring at Mu Yen with charming eyes. Hula la. Her slender hands grabbed a thick black iron chain, which exuded a strange breath, specifically targeting the soul. People from the ghost pavilion. Don't think you can eat me. It's hard to say who will win. Mu Yen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, his eyes fierce and determined. He still has a last resort, which is to use the residual soul in his body to perform the last blow. Mr. Li, I'll borrow your power for the last time. Can you still hold on? Mu Yan's voice sounded in his heart. Soon, an old voice responded in his heart. I can still burst out one last burst of power, comparable to the God transformation stage. We must take this opportunity to escape. Okay. As long as we can repel these people, we will have a chance to breathe. As soon as Mu Yen finished speaking, he handed his body over to the remnant soul named Mr. Li in his body. Mr. Li's remnant soul was in his body, and he had a deep friendship with him. The two of them were now advancing and retreating together. Boom! Mu Yan's breath suddenly soared, climbing directly from the foundation establishment stage to the God transformation stage. The terrifying breath was raging around, like a storm that could destroy everything. The beautiful woman was not afraid, but became more excited and excited. Yes, it is the power of this remnant soul. If I can devour and refine this remnant soul, my strength will definitely be greatly improved. The iron chain in the beautiful woman's hand clattered, turning into a series of black pythons to kill Mu Yen. Mu Yen immediately used his means to fight back, but the beautiful woman's various secret methods were specifically used to restrain the residual soul, so he was defeated quickly. Puff! Mu Yen spit out a large mouthful of blood, flew backwards hundreds of meters, and his breath quickly fell to the foundation building stage. Li Lao's weak voice sounded, Mu Yen, I'm afraid we have no way out this time. Mu Yen gritted his teeth tightly, and as the other party walked over in the void, he knew that he really couldn't turn over again. Die! The beautiful woman's eyes turned cold, and the iron chain in her hand pierced through the void and stabbed at Mu Yen, ready to end his life. Just when Mu Yen had accepted his fate, a young and simple figure appeared in the void at some point, just blocking the iron chain. Bang! Before touching this figure, the indestructible iron chain instantly exploded into countless fragments. The sudden change made everyone stay where they were. Ye Chen looked at the stunned Mu Yen calmly, and said lightly, Are you willing to enter my Kunlun Holy Land and become my personal disciple? Chapter 3 The Magnificent Main Hall. Mu Yen was shocked. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mu Yen was stunned. How could a young man who looked about the same age as himself suddenly appear at this critical moment and want to take him in as his apprentice? Was he hallucinating? But the voice of Mr. Li immediately rang in his mind, Mu Yen, this person is very strong. Very strong. Mu Yen was shocked. Even Mr. Li seriously said that a person who was very strong must be an extremely terrifying strong man. Why are you standing there? If you become my apprentice, I can help you solve the problem. Otherwise, I'm leaving. Ye Chen said lightly, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. Senior, I. Mu Yen was still confused and didn't understand what was going on. In the distance, the beautiful woman of the ghost house saw that her good deeds were interrupted, and stared at Ye Chen with murderous intent in her eyes. Dao Yu, please get out of the way when the ghost house is doing business, otherwise don't blame us for being rude. The ghost house is notorious and extremely powerful. It is said that there is an immortal emperor in the ghost house now. The beautiful woman proudly raised her snow-white neck, and her posture was very arrogant. She believed that after she brought up the name of the ghost house, this stranger would be scared and dare not meddle in other people's business. Mu Yen also became nervous. At least this senior had no ill will towards him. If the senior was scared away by the reputation of the ghost house, wouldn't he be dead? Just when they all thought that Ye Chen would be afraid, he had a blank expression on his face, as if he didn't hear the beautiful woman's warning. Mu Yan, 18 years old, born with the best fire spirit root, Immortal-level qualifications. If trained well, at least in the future he will be a true immortal. Ye Chen read out Mu Yan's information in a calm tone. Mu Yan and elderly were both very shocked. Only the two of them knew that he was born with fire spirit roots. Could it be that this senior saw through his true colors at a glance? "You are the first person who dares to ignore me," that the beautiful woman screamed in exasperation. Her face was ferocious, a stream of black air rushed out of her body, and more than a dozen black iron chains flew in the air like pythons, and then rushed towards Ye Chen in unison. "Senior, be careful, her attack is very strange," Mu Yan screamed subconsciously, but he soon found that his worries were unnecessary, because these iron chains burst out of thin air again, turning into countless fragments. "What a terrifying strength!" Elder Li's shocked voice sounded again in Mu Yan's heart. The beautiful woman was shocked and stepped back more than 10 steps, as if she had seen something terrifying. With her cultivation in the spiritual transformation realm, coupled with the strange attack methods of the ghost house, she is basically invincible at the same level, but this strange strong man didn't even move, and all her attacks were resolved. How strong is this person? "Form a formation," the beautiful woman shouted, and more than a dozen strong men around her took action and formed a huge formation. One after another, powerful forces crushed towards Ye Chen, and this power was comparable to a blow at the peak of the spiritualization stage. "Noisy," Ye Chen frowned impatiently. With just a glance, a big hole appeared in the void in front of him, generating a strong suction force, sucking in all the people in the ghost house. "Help!" The beautiful woman screamed in fear and despair, but before she finished her words, her snow-white body disappeared in the vortex of the void, and then the vortex of the void closed automatically. The world is quiet. To the space with bare hands. No, he didn't even use his hands, he just did it with a glance. What kind of strength is he? "Mu Yan, I'm going to sleep, otherwise he will definitely notice it," after Li Lao's terrified voice sounded. He hid himself completely, and didn't even dare to communicate with Mu Yan. He didn't dare to take risks in front of such a peerless strong man. Tear the void, Mu Yan looked confused. He didn't know what this concept was at the foundation building stage. "Thank you for your help, senior. I will never forget it. I am willing to become your disciple." Mu Yan knelt down and kowtowed. "Okay, from today on, you are my first direct disciple." Ye Chen nodded with satisfaction. The system immediately gave the latest prompts. The host successfully accepted a disciple. Reward 5 true immortal summoning cards. Reward a main hall. Reward a 10,000-year enlightenment tea tree. Reward the original body of Hongmeng. Reward the Emperor-level technique Flame God Ju. Just accepted a disciple, and there are so many rewards. Ye Chen was overjoyed. Let's go back to the mountain gate." He waved his hand, and an invisible force enveloped Mu Yan, taking him through the void. When Mu Yan regained consciousness, he had already arrived at the foot of the mountain. He could see the huge mountain gate that was hundreds of feet high, the plaque read Kunlun Holy Land in large characters, shining with golden light, containing infinite Taoist rhyme, which made people involuntarily fall into it. "What a magnificent mountain gate, Master, are we a holy land?" Mu Yan was very excited. From such a magnificent gate, he knew that Kunlun Holy Land was very unusual, and it was definitely not an ordinary small sect. Moreover, in the ancient world, those who dared to be named Holy Land were all transcendent forces that had been passed down for endless years. Behind every Holy Land, there is at least one figure of an Immortal Emperor. Only the forces opened up by the Immortal Emperor are qualified to be called Holy Land. Could it be that the Kunlun Holy Land is the transcendent force opened up by the Immortal Emperor? However, why hasn't he heard of a Kunlun Holy Land in the ancient world? This chapter is not finished yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Walking into the gate, Mu Yan felt as if he had been baptized all over his body, and all the negative states were swept away. The energy and spiritual power in the body have recovered to the peak. Moreover, the bottleneck of the 7th level of the foundation building period has loosened, and it is possible to rush into the 8th level of the foundation building period at any time. Mu Yan was extremely amazed in his heart. Can a gate have such a magical effect? How good should the resources of the entire Holy Land be? But after entering the gate, what came into view was a bare hilltop, and Mu Yan was dumbfounded immediately. Such a small barren mountain, how can it look like a sect? Is the gate at the foot of the mountain so imposing fake? Master, where is our sect? Mu Yan asked weakly. He didn't believe that this small barren mountain was the Kunlun Holy Land. Oh, I almost forgot, we are a hidden sect, and we have just entered the world, so the infrastructure has not caught up, but you should work hard to practice, and you will have everything you need. Ye Chen smiled and ordered. Mu Yan's heart skipped a beat. He always felt that the look in his master's eyes was like an unscrupulous boss who exploited his employees. Even his tone was like that of a black-hearted boss. Main hall, materialize. Ye Chen didn't care what Mu Yan thought. He took the main hall out of the system space and arranged it in front. Suddenly, the world moved, countless purple air fell from the void, and colorful clouds filled the sky. The rules of heaven were manifested, as if they were about to create the world. In Mu Yan's stunned expression, a hall covering an area of more than 1,000 miles fell to the ground, and the entire mountain range was included. The earth was shaking. Mu Yan swallowed hard, and a hall appeared out of thin air. It was incredible. What kind of tricks were these? Mahayana stage? Tribulation stage? Or true immortal? It seemed like he had found a very great master. They are just small tricks. You will know when you grow up in the future. Ye Chen patted his shoulder, fearing that his jaw would be dislocated. Mu Yan felt unprecedentedly excited. Before he met his master, his goal was to reach the Mahayana stage, or even the tribulation stage. But Ye Chen's few words made him understand that there are always people better than you. At least, he believed that even the strong men in the tribulation stage did not have the amazing power of his master. Disciple will never let master down. Mu Yan clenched his fists tightly, his face flushed with excitement. Ye Chen walked into the hall first. Follow me, I have something to tell you. Mu Yan followed closely behind. Chapter 4, Fusion of the Hongmeng Primordial Body, Control of All Laws. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Entering the main hall, it seems to contain a small world, which is completely two different spaces. Mu Yan looked around in shock. The hall was vast and huge, with dragons and phoenixes carved on the pillars. When he looked up, there were exquisite statues of strange beasts standing there. It's as if these sculptures will really come to life in the next moment. Although he has never seen a real Holy Land, he can be sure that even those holy places that are famous in the world of Huangxian are much inferior to the main hall of Kunlun Holy Land. Here, I am really as insignificant as an ant. The master's power was beyond his imagination. He could build such a magnificent building with just a raise of his hand. It was a miracle. Ye Chen sat on the main seat, like the Emperor of Heaven overlooking the human world. The invisible power made Mu Yan breathless. This was not deliberately released by Ye Chen, but the power that came with being an immortal emperor, which was difficult for others to resist. Mu Yan, as the first disciple of our sect, I naturally have to give you something as a teacher. Ye Chen waved his hand, and a technique wrapped in blazing flames floated in front of Mu Yan. Looking at the flames above, Mu Yan was very frightened. He could feel that even a trace of fire was enough to burn mountains and boil seas. This technique is very suitable for your physique. You can practice it. Ye Chen smiled. Thank you, master. Mu Yan tremblingly took over the technique that was wrapped in flames. He was very worried that he would be burned up. Fortunately, the flames dissipated automatically. Although I don't know what level of skill this is, since it was given by master, it must be something good. You are born with the best fire spirit root and have very good qualifications, but this is not enough. I, my teacher, must develop your potential to the extreme. After saying that, Ye Chen stretched out his big hand and pressed it on Mu Yan's Tianling cap. At this moment, Mu Yan lost consciousness, but all the laws of heaven and earth were gathered in Ye Chen's hands, and then all poured into Mu Yan's body, washing away his top-quality fire spirit roots like a river. Flames spread all over Mu Yan's body, and the flames of various colors emitted terrifying temperatures, but strangely they did not harm him. Soon, the top-grade fire spirit root transformed into a more advanced flame spirit holy body. If the top-grade fire spirit root has immortal-level qualifications, and the worst future achievements will be true immortals, then the flame spirit holy body has emperor-level qualifications, and it is even possible to reach the realm of the immortal emperor in the future. The upper limits of the two are different. Mu Yen felt as if his body had turned into endless sky fire, integrating with all the rules of fire. When he opened his eyes again and regained consciousness, he realized that the master was no longer in the hall. Disciple, you can go back and practice on your own, and strive to lead Kunlun Holy Land to its peak as soon as possible. Ye Chen's voice echoed in his ears. Mu Yen was deeply encouraged, clenched his fists hard and said loudly, I will follow my master's teachings, and my disciple will definitely live up to my master's high expectations. He is the chief disciple of Kunlun Holy Land, so he is the face of the sect. After Mu Yen left, Ye Chen took out the 5 true immortal summoning cards awarded by the system. 5 true immortals. The level is a bit lower, but there are too few people in Kunlun Holy Land now, so it's better than nothing. Ye Chen was still a little dissatisfied, so he chose to have 5 true immortals materialize to report to him. If any other Holy Land knew that he actually despised the 5 true immortals for their poor strength, they would probably be angry to death. Realm division, body refining, chi training, foundation building, golden elixir, yuanying, transforming into gods, refining the void, integrating body, Mahayana, transcending tribulations, true immortals, earth immortals, heavenly immortals, mysterious immortals, immortal kings, and immortal emperors. Over the past tens of millions of years, the immortal emperor seemed to have completely disappeared. Most Xian, immortal lord, and immortal king also practice in seclusion and strive for higher realms. The top powerhouses who are still active on the surface are basically true immortals, earth immortals, and heavenly immortals. The Holy Lord of a Holy Land has a basic cultivation level of the immortal realm, therefore, the true immortal's cultivation level is already very high. I dare not say that he can walk sideways in the world of desolate immortals, but at least he is already a famous figure in the world. He is still not satisfied with obtaining 5 absolutely loyal true immortals at once. This is already a very strong fighting force. Ye Chen moved the enlightenment tea tree into reality and automatically planted it in the back mountain. Now that the main hall has been built, it is no longer a hilltop, but a large rolling palace. The rules of heaven and earth in this area have been changed. The enlightenment tea tree is 10 feet tall and has dense leaves. Each leaf is carved with a natural Tao pattern, which has the magical effect of making people enlighten. Integrate Hongmeng's original body. Ye Chen ordered. The Hongmeng primitive body is the first body at the beginning of the world. It represents the origin of the world and the beginning of everything. This physique does not need to be paired with exercises, because the physique itself is the most powerful existence and can be perfectly integrated with any Tao rules. Ye Chen's physique is changing rapidly, stimulating the original power of the world. Not only the great world of desolate immortal, but also countless other worlds are affected. In the depths of the starry sky outside the big world, the power of colorful laws manifests, and they gather together to form a river that continuously impacts and flows. Looking up from the great world of Huangxian, you can see the gorgeous colors and the fear that reaches your soul. Countless top powerhouses in the big world have been awakened. Countless laws of the universe have actually manifested themselves. For countless years, they have never heard of such a thing. At this moment, many immortal emperors could not sit still, and felt the breath of the terrifying law of the Great Way from afar in the depths of the starry sky. What happened? Is this a strange phenomenon of heaven and earth? Impossible. The strange phenomenon of heaven and earth is only limited to a big world. How could it appear in the depths of the starry sky? Someone became an emperor. That's not right. The movement when I became an emperor was not even 1% of what it is now. The world has changed drastically. Will there be a great catastrophe of the ages? Such a clear law of the Great Way, if I can comprehend part of it, the strength of this emperor will definitely be improved. Many immortal emperors were watching the terrifying cosmic torrent in secret, which was completely formed by the condensation of countless laws of the Great Way. At their level, they could not understand the reason. There were also many immortal lords and immortal kings who took advantage of this opportunity to comprehend the law and madly improve their strength. Some strong men who have been trapped in the peak realm of the immortal king for too long have even experienced a loosening of their realm and are about to break through to the realm of the immortal emperor. For all the strong men in the heavens and the worlds, this is an unprecedented great opportunity. Ye Chen didn't know that he had only merged the primordial body of Hongmeng, but it caused a sensation in the heavens and the worlds. Soon, he finished the fusion. It's really different to have the primordial body of Hongmeng. I am equivalent to the fusion of the laws of a big world. As an immortal emperor, I can beat 100 of me just now, easily. That Ye Chen's eyes were full of shock. Although the realm just now and now are the same, the degree of mastery of the laws of heaven and earth is completely different. He opened his palm, and there were countless lines of laws intertwined in the palm. As long as he wants, he can build a small world at any time. Moreover, it is a complete small world, not a small secret space. System prompt: a genius exchange meeting will be held in Fulou Mountains in half a month. Please go there to find suitable disciples. You can get rich rewards if you accept disciples. There are rewards to be taken again. These rewards are too easy, right? Ye Chen smiled slightly with satisfaction, and then shuttled through the void to the ancient tree of enlightenment. Hua la la! The ancient tea tree of enlightenment shook its branches excitedly after seeing Ye Chen, and the tea leaves sparkled with green light, and there were countless threads of Tao falling down. I'll sleep in whenever I want, and finally I can have a good rest. Ye Chen lay comfortably under the ancient tree, closing his eyes and resting his mind leisurely. Chapter 5, Emperor-level Kung Fu. Mr. Li is hit hard. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mu Yan, on his side, left the main hall and headed to the area where his disciples lived. Master gave me a volume of exercises, but I don't know what level they are. That he couldn't wait to practice the newly acquired skills. At this time, 5 sturdy men walked towards them. They exuded a heart-stopping aura, and Mu Yan stopped involuntarily. Don't be afraid. The 5 of us are elders of the sect and are here to pay homage to the sect master. One of the big men showed a friendly smile to Mu Yan. After hearing his explanation, Mu Yan became less nervous. It turns out that he is an elder within the sect, so he is one of his own. Having said that, with a powerful man like Master sitting in the Kunlun Holy Land, it is impossible for others to sneak into the sect and cause trouble. Disciple Mu Yan, I have met several elders. Mu Yan cupped his hands and said, when the 5 people left, he breathed a sigh of relief and quickly arrived at the place where his disciples lived. Mr. Li, who had been silent for a long time, finally showed up. This place is too scary. Let alone leaking some breath, I don't even dare to move. Mr. Li's horrified voice sounded in Mu Yan's heart. Mr. Li, don't worry, this is the Kunlun Holy Land, and I am already the top disciple here. I will be fine. Mu Yan smiled and comforted him, saying that he believed that the master would not harm him. Besides, no matter how powerful Mr. Li was, he was just a remnant soul. With the master's ability, he would not be interested in a weak remnant soul. Even Mu Yan himself didn't realize that he had always regarded Mr. Li as the most powerful role model in the past, but now he no longer looked down on Mr. Li's cultivation. After experiencing higher levels of power, people's vision will improve. By the way, what did your master tell you? Mr. Li asked doubtfully. Speaking of this, Mu Yan couldn't hold back his excitement. He smiled happily and said, Master helped me improve my qualifications. Now I am no longer born with fire roots. Improved qualifications. Real or fake? Let me have a look. Li Lao took over Mu Yan's body with hesitation, and he was shocked to feel the heat and power coming from this body. Its strength is dozens or hundreds of times higher than before. What kind of physique is this? You are like a ball of flame now. I have never seen such a powerful physique. Mr. Li screamed in horror. Mu Yan scratched his head and said, Master said this is the holy body of the flame spirit, but I don't know the specific situation. Hearing the words holy body of the flame spirit, Mr. Li was shocked on the spot. He couldn't make a sound for a long time, and his heart was surging crazily like a stormy sea. "Mr. Li, what's wrong with you? Are you okay?" Mu Yan asked with concern. "No. It's okay, I'm just too surprised." "Mu Yan, do you know what the holy body of the flame spirit is? This is the legendary physique closest to the origin of flames. Something like the fire spirit root. In the flame spirit there is rubbish in front of the Eucharist. Who is this master of yours? Can he actually upgrade your physique to the holy body of flame spirit?" Mr. Li's tone was full of disbelief. Even a genius like him who was playing with fire had never seen the holy body of the flame spirit. He once thought that this was just a legend made up. Didn't you expect to witness it with your own eyes? To him, this is already a myth. "I don't know, but the master must be one of the most powerful people. By the way, I just met 5 sect elders, and their aura is even more powerful than that of the gods." Mu Yan excitedly told Mr. Li what he had seen and heard. After arriving at Kunlun Holy Land, he felt that his previous experiences were too petty. Is it the void refining period? Or even the integration period? Or is it the Mahayana period? Mr. Li is also very curious about what kind of sect this Kunlun Holy Land is. All the holy places in the ancient world are famous superpowers, but he has never heard of the Kunlun Holy Land. Could it be a hidden sect? He was a Mahayana monk during his lifetime. He was very powerful and possessed the skill of controlling fire to dominate the heaven realm, but when facing Ye Chen, he didn't even dare to release a breath. "By the way, you are now the holy body of the flame spirit. It is best to practice my burning heaven technique. This is a magical skill that can continue to grow and can even grow into an immortal level skill in the future." Mr. Li shouted excitedly, and then took out a jade slip, which was exactly what he called the burning heaven technique. Kung Fu level, mortal level, spirit level, mysterious level, king level, saint level, immortal level, emperor level. Don't look at it. It's just a spirit level technique now. With your qualifications, you can advance it to become an immortal level technique by swallowing many fairy fires. Mr. Li proudly introduced that this was a treasure he had obtained at great cost during his lifetime, and it was his biggest secret. Immortal level skills can allow Mu Yan to cultivate to the realm of true immortals. In any force, immortal level techniques are rare. Looking at the jade slip in his hand, Mu Yan hesitated. Mr. Li saw something was wrong with him and couldn't help but ask, "Mu Yan, what's wrong? Don't you like burning heaven art?" Mr. Li thought that Mu Yan was doubting the growth characteristics of burning heaven technique. After all, an advanced technique did not sound reliable. When he was thinking about explaining a few more words, Mu Yan shook his head and said, "Mr. Li, actually Master has already given me the exercises. He said this is the most suitable exercise for me." Hearing this, Mr. Li raised his eyebrows unconvinced. He admitted that the master of Kunlun Holy Land was mysterious and powerful, but his burning heaven art was no joke. Is there any technique better than the art of burning heaven? This chapter is not over yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading. Take it out, I'll help you look it over. Old Li said angrily. Mu Yan took out the flaming scroll from the space ring, and the temperature of the whole room suddenly rose. Even Old Li's soul felt uncomfortable. What a powerful scroll. Old Li's face changed immediately. The flames attached to the surface of the scroll burst like this. How powerful should the scroll itself be? Mu Yan also opened the scroll with great expectation. It was written with the 3 words Flame God Art and followed by the 2 small words Emperor Level. Old Li and Mu Yan's hearts were filled with shocking waves. Emperor Level. This is an Emperor Level technique. Only the Immortal Emperor can create an Emperor Level technique. Every Emperor Level technique is the treasure of the Holy Land and the foundation of a transcendent force. Being able to possess an Emperor Level technique, there is a slight possibility of proving the Tao of the Immortal Emperor. Although, there is only a slight possibility, it is enough to drive countless practitioners crazy. Just teach an Emperor Level technique to a teenager who is only in the 7th level of the foundation building period. I am afraid that no one in the entire wild fairy world can do this courage. Compared with the Emperor Level Flame God Art, his Immortal Level Burning Heaven Art is just like garbage, and no one will even look at it. after a long time, Li Lao and Mu Yen recovered from the shock. They had just lost their ability to speak and were completely speechless. Since you have the flame god art, my burning heaven art is really not suitable for you. Li Lao said with some embarrassment and some disappointment, the good treasure that you have hidden is actually not even as good as garbage in the eyes of others. Isn't it too discouraging? Mu Yen didn't know how to comfort him better. Compared with Ye Chen, Li Lao really lost miserably. No, it should be said that Mr. Li is not qualified to compare with Ye Chen. Mr. Li, maybe one day I can talk to Master and ask him to help you too. Mu Yen said, Mr. Li is a remnant soul, and his greatest wish is to condense a physical body. He believes that with Master's ability, it must be easy to do it. Is this feasible? Mr. Li was a little tempted. However, before they continued to talk, Mr. Li's face became extremely terrified, because an irresistible terrifying force grabbed him and pulled him into the void. Mr. Li, Mu Yen reached out anxiously, but caught nothing. Disciple, I asked him to come over. You don't have to panic, just practice with peace of mind. Fortunately, the next moment, Ye Chen's voice rang in his ears. Mu Yen was relieved. Since it was Master's hand, there was no need to worry. With Master's strength, it seemed that it was not difficult to detect a remnant soul in his body. Chapter 6: The Master's Amazing Power and New Body. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Lao, who was controlled by Ye Chen, had no idea what was going on. When he came to his senses, he found himself in a hall. This hall was filled with terrifying pressure. His remnant soul was like an ant that could be crushed to death at any time. He looked up in horror and found a tall figure sitting on the throne. This figure was surrounded by thousands of laws and wrapped in gorgeous light, so he couldn't see his true face. If I guessed correctly, this person should be Mu Yan's master, right? Junior Li Yao, meet Senior. Li Lao knelt on the ground and didn't dare to get up, facing such a peerless strong man whose strength he couldn't even imagine. He didn't dare to have any temper at all, and the arrogance of a Mahayana cultivator was crushed to pieces. Li Yao, a Mahayana cultivator, is good at fire and refining medicine. Above, Ye Chen's cold voice came. Fortunately, Li Lao is now a remnant soul, otherwise he would have been soaked in cold sweat. But even so, his residual soul swayed, as if it would dissipate at any time. Senior, I have a good relationship with your eldest disciple Mu Yen. I have never had any bad intentions. Please understand. Old Li didn't understand why this big shot brought him here. Anyway, he wanted to get closer to him and save his life. Ye Chen said nothing. Just this kind of majesty had frightened Old Li so much that his soul was shocked. I can give you a physical body. From now on, you will work in my Kunlun Holy Land. Ye Chen spoke. Hearing this, Old Li was very shocked and felt unbelievable. This big shot actually wanted to help him condense a physical body. Did he really have this honor? Then he trembled with surprise. With the other party's strength, identity, and status, there was no need to make up lies to deceive his weak residual soul. If nothing unexpected happened, the biggest opportunity in his life really came. Senior, I am willing to do anything. Old Li cowed out excitedly. Ye Chen above raised his arm towards him, and in his hand emerged various colorful lines of the rules of the avenue, and the mysterious power wrapped around Li Lao's residual soul. Li Lao felt that his residual soul seemed to have touched the most fundamental rules between heaven and earth, which was a kind of creative power. His body was being created. First, the tendons and bones were formed, then blood vessels began to appear, and finally the flesh and blood covered the whole body, forming a new body. At this moment, Li Lao was more relaxed and free than ever before. Looking at his hands, he touched his face excitedly, worried that he was dreaming. In order to condense the body, he placed his hopes on Mu Yen, and wanted to wait until Mu Yen became stronger before finding materials for him to refine the body. For him, this was an extremely difficult thing, destined to be a long wait. But now, in just a blink of an eye, he actually has a new body. He kept needing his body, even if it was painful, but it still felt very unreal. Is it really so easy to accomplish what I dream of? Yes. I really have a new body. I am alive again. Finally, Li Lao was so excited that he burst into tears. He was finally no longer a vague remnant soul and no longer had to worry about being hunted by the people of the Ghost Palace. Feeling the powerful force surging, he knew that everything was real. Thank you, Senior. I will definitely protect the Kunlun Holy Land with my life. I will never let you down. Li Lao knelt down and kowtowed several times, and swore with his life to repay Ye Chen's kindness. Ye Chen looked indifferent. Even if Li Lao didn't swear, he had the means to control his life and death. Anyone who joined the Kunlun Holy Land would be recorded in the system. He only needed a thought, and anyone who betrayed the Kunlun Holy Land would die without a burial place. So, the last thing he had to worry about was someone rebelling. Go down, from today you are the outer sect elder of my Kunlun Holy Land. Ye Chen said. He was attracted by Li Lao's superb alchemy skills. In the future, the scale of Kunlun Holy Land will expand rapidly, and he will also gather all kinds of talents. I will obey the orders of the sect master. Li Lao was also very smart and changed his words immediately. When he left the hall, his head was dizzy. I can't believe that I really have a physical body. That he looked down at his hands and sighed at the mysteriousness of the sect master. To refine a new body, you need to collect a lot of materials and go through a lot of preparations. And even the probability of failure is very high. Even with the help of Mu Yen, he dared not guarantee that he would succeed in the future. But the sect master realized his dream with just a lift of his hand. What kind of amazing power is this? After carefully feeling the surging power in his body, Li Lao couldn't help but exclaimed, hiss. Such pure power, the quality of this physical body is too high, right? In terms of qualifications, the new body is many times higher than the old one. His highest achievement before was at the Mahayana stage. This time, he believed that he could definitely surpass the Mahayana stage, and even reach the true immortal stage, or even a higher realm. Boom! A powerful aura rushed out of his body, and it turned out to be the void refining stage. Old Li was so excited that he couldn't stop grinning. At this time, he found 5 people walking towards the hall with dragon-like steps, and suddenly thought of what Mu Yen had said before, that he saw 5 people with unfathomable auras when he came back. This chapter is not finished yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content below. Could it be them? I am the outer sect elder of our sect, Li Yao, and I meet several Taoist friends. Old Li smiled and bowed to the 5 people. The 5 of us are also the outer sect elders of our sect, and we are all family. My name is Zhang Lao De, and this is Zhang Lao Er, Zhang Lao San, Zhang Lao Si, and Zhang Lao Wu. That the outer sect elder named Zhang Lao De also greeted Old Li with a smile. We are all from Kunlun Holy Land, so there is no need to be too pretentious. Old Li felt funny in his heart. The names of these 5 people were really sloppy, but they were easy to remember. After greeting, both parties left. Looking at the backs of the 5 people, Old Li felt an impulse. He wanted to test what level of strength Zhang Lao De and the other 5 people had. We are all outer sect elders, so we should be about the same, right? I am now in the void refining stage, which is not weak. So, Li Lao released a ray of consciousness to detect the strength of several people, but before it could reach Zhang Lao De and the other 5, it was bounced back by an extremely vast force. Li Lao groaned in pain, his step swayed, and he almost fell to the ground. What a powerful strength! It is bottomless. It is definitely beyond the void refining stage. No, it should be said that it is definitely beyond the Mahayana stage, that he used to be a Mahayana cultivator, and he knew very well that the Mahayana stage definitely did not have such terrifying strength. Could it be the tribulation crossing stage? An even more frightening guess came to Li Lao's mind. Could they have reached the true immortal realm? True immortal. A realm that is said to separate mortals and immortals. Only when you reach the true immortal realm can you truly achieve partial freedom of the body and soul, because the great cultivators in the true immortal realm have a long lifespan, and it is easy to live for tens of thousands of years. Is this the strength of Kunlun Holy Land? Old Li was not discouraged, but clenched his fists excitedly. It was his blessing to join such a powerful and mysterious sect. In the future, he will definitely break through to the realm of true immortals. In this way, he will not let down the sect master's gift and expectations for him. Zhang Laoda and the other 5 people have entered the hall at this time. Ye Chen told them some things and asked them to take care of some sect affairs before disappearing. Zhang Laoda and the others were very proud to see the sect master's figure gradually turning into light. He is worthy of being the sect master. He is so powerful that he is just an incarnation. Even the incarnation can treat them as ants, so how strong should the real body be? Now that Kunlun Holy Land has just been established, many places are not yet perfect, and many facilities are missing, so the work of Zhang Laoda and the other 5 people is also easy. 10 days passed quickly. In 10 days, the strength of the eldest disciple Mu Yan has also undergone earth-shaking changes. Chapter 7, Issue the Mission, Mu Family Competition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Inside the residence, Mu Yan was immersed in cultivation. He sat cross-legged on a cushion made of a variety of precious materials, in a cultivation posture, with powerful auras constantly flowing from his body to the outside world. Blazing flames emerged from his body, turning his entire body into a ball of flames with terrifyingly high temperatures. Mu Yan changed his seals and continued to draw the energy of heaven and earth into his body. Flame God Technique, Mu Yan shouted, and the spiritual energy of the surrounding heaven and earth poured into his body frantically. After the essence of the flame outside his body, this power became incomparably pure. With the flame spirit saint body and the God-level technique flame God technique, his cultivation speed was incredibly fast. In 10 days, he had made a leap from the initial 7th level of the foundation building period to the 3rd level of the current golden elixir period. You know, it's only been 10 days. This cultivation speed is quite terrifying anywhere, not to mention the first-class forces in the ancient world. Even the saints in the Holy Land can't reach this level. With Mu Yan's hard work, his aura surged again, and he actually broke through to the 4th level of the golden core stage. Finally broke through. Mu Yan excitedly exhaled a breath of turbid air, feeling the surging power in his body. He couldn't believe it. The flame spirit saint body is so terrifying. With the Emperor-level skills, it is really irresistible. That he used to think that meeting Mr. Li and getting his guidance was the luckiest thing, but now he knows that joining the Kunlun Holy Land is the blessing he has cultivated for several lifetimes. The master helped him transform his physique and gave him the Emperor-level skills. Such great kindness is beyond repayment. I used to be a useless person who was laughed at by others, but now I want to be a genius that everyone looks up to. I should get back all the humiliation that the Mu family brought me. That when Mu Yan thought of the various humiliations he had suffered in the family, he clenched his fists in anger, and his breathing became rapid. Then he came to the hall to ask to see Ye Chen. Master, I have something to ask for. Today is the family competition of the Mu family. I want to go home and wash away all the humiliation I have suffered. I beg Master to approve it. Mu Yan bowed respectfully. He used to be the first genius of the Mu family and the hope of the future of the Mu family. Everyone held him in the palm of their hands. But one day, his realm regressed rapidly, and he was unable to practice. All the power absorbed into his body disappeared without a trace. From then on, he went from a genius with a halo to a useless person ridiculed by everyone. People who used to be respectful in front of him dared to ridicule him in person. It was their greatest joy to trample on the former genius. The disheartened Mu Yan didn't want to be looked down upon in the Mu family, so he ran away from home quickly and wanted to find the way to practice again. Not long after, the remnant soul Li Lao who was sleeping in his body woke up. Only then did he understand that the reason why his cultivation level regressed and he couldn't practice in these years was that Li Lao was absorbing his energy. At that time, he thought that he had recovered his genius talent and would soon be able to return to the Mu family and shut up all those who mocked him. Now that he has joined the Kunlun Holy Land, his strength has improved by leaps and bounds. If he returns home with the strength of the 4th level of the Golden Core stage, won't he be able to kill everyone? Ye Chen listened to Mu Yan's report, and the system prompt sounded in his mind. Ding! Trigger the task. The eldest disciple Mu Yan regains his dignity, and rewards are issued according to the completion of the task. This task made Ye Chen a little interested. It turned out that this could also trigger the task and issue rewards. According to the description of this task, whether the reward is good or not depends on how well Mu Yen completes the task. If the completion of the task is high enough, the reward will definitely be the best. Disciple, Master agrees to let you go back. You must always remember that you are the eldest disciple of Kunlun Holy Land, and you are the disciple of Master. Don't have any concerns about doing anything, Kunlun Holy Land is behind you. Hearing this, Mu Yen was shocked and clasped his fists gratefully. Thank you for the permission, Master. I will never bring shame to our sect. Elder Zhang Laosi, you and Mu Yen can go out for a while. Ye Chen ordered, and then his figure merged into the void and disappeared. After getting permission, Zhang Laosi and Mu Yen went down the mountain together. The Mu family was very lively at this time, because the Mu family's family competition held every 10 years was held today. The whole Mu family was discussing who would get the first place in this family competition. I think Mu Tingting is good. She is the pride of our family. She is considered the second genius. You also said that Tingting is only the second genius. The first one is of course the first genius, Brother Mu Kuan. Brother Mu Kuan is really convincing. There is nothing to say. He is recognized as the first genius. In the spacious family courtyard, several young people of the Mu family excitedly said the strong candidates for the championship in their minds. The two people they mentioned, Mu Tingting and Mu Kuan, are both amazing talents. Mu Tingting is the 5th level of the foundation building period, and Mu Kuan has reached the terrifying 6th level of the foundation building period. No one can reach this strength among the young geniuses of several families around, but at this time, someone in the crowd said weakly, if we talk about the first genius, it should still be Mu Yen. When the name Mu Yen came out, the lively atmosphere suddenly became cold, and the faces of these young people also changed. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. And the person who mentioned Mu Yen also knew that he had said something wrong, and quickly shrank his neck and hid in the crowd without showing his head. After a while, someone said with regret, Mu Yen? He is really powerful. He reached the foundation building stage a few years ago. If there is no problem, he must be at least the 7th or even 8th level of the foundation building stage now, right? That is a recognized genius, but it's a pity that he has become a waste. You also said that it was only in the past. Since he left the family, there has been no news. I'm afraid I don't know where he died. If you become a waste, can't you just eat and wait for death? You have to go out to die. It's really ridiculous and stupid, These young people laughed at the brilliant genius of the year without any scruples, as if this behavior can bring them the supreme sense of superiority. When the few people were chatting happily, a cold girl's voice interrupted them, shut up. Although Mu Yen has become a waste, he once made contributions to the family. Don't say these words anymore. Several people turned around and saw that the girl who came over was wearing a red dress, and the tight belt perfectly outlined her slender waist. The person who came was Mu Tingting. We are just talking nonsense, we won't mention it anymore. Several people laughed awkwardly and quickly dispersed. Mu Tingting is powerful and has a high status in the family. They can't afford to offend her. Looking away from them, Mu Tingting couldn't help but think of the thin figure of the boy back then. He was really brilliant at that time. Even she could only follow him happily, but now it's different. The genius has fallen, the times have changed, and the boy back then is no longer qualified to appear in front of her. Chapter 8 The Former Genius, Mu Yen returns. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Mu family competition begins now. Soon, the Mu family's senior management announced that the competition had officially begun. Every young man in the Mu family was in high spirits and wanted to show off their strength. On the high platform, the Mu family's senior management commented on the performance of the young people with great interest. Tingting is really good. She defeated the enemy with one move and still had some strength left. This shows that she has not reached her limit yet. Mu Kuan is also good. He defeated a 4th level opponent in the foundation establishment stage with one move. It was so easy. With them, our Mu family has a promising future. Several senior management members were talking and laughing, but only a middle-aged man named Muley had a gloomy face, because Muley was Mu Yan's father. At this time, the elder of the Mu family said, "For these geniuses, our Mu family needs to give more resources to cultivate them." What a pity! If the previous resources had not been used to cultivate a waste, Mu Kun and Tingting would have grown faster. That the elder had a hint of dissatisfaction in his tone. Wasn't the waste he mentioned referring to Mu Yan? In order to train Mu Yan, the Mu family did allocate a lot of resources. As soon as this was said, many family leaders nodded, as if they could not see Muley's increasingly ugly face. The second elder snorted coldly, "Mu Yan, that kid, really wasted too many of our resources. If we had known this, we should not have focused on training him. Yeah, we thought he could lead the Mu family to create glory, but who knew that he was useless?" Other senior leaders also ridiculed Mu Yan mercilessly. Mu Yan was too dazzling at the beginning, overshadowing the light of many people, and in fact, many clan members were dissatisfied. Fortunately, he has left, otherwise he would have eaten and drunk for free if he stayed in the family. Wouldn't it be a waste of family resources? That kid is also a bit stubborn. He said nicely that he would go out to experience and regain his strength, but who knows if he is still alive now. The first elder, the second elder and the others all laughed in a yin-yang way. Mu Lei next to him had endured the anger in his chest to the extreme and could not listen anymore. Enough. Shut up. A burst of Jindan stage cultivation burst out, subduing the place. Mu Lei's eyes were bloodshot, staring at everyone with extreme anger, and said loudly, "When my son was a genius, he also made a lot of contributions to the family, and he has long been worthy of the resources spent on him. What are you talking about now? My son will definitely come back alive and continue to shine." Mu Lei has never lost confidence in his son. He firmly believes that when Mu Yan returns, everyone in the Mu family will look up to him. Looking at Mu Lei, who was so angry that his body was slightly shaking, the elder scolded him dissatisfiedly, "Mu Lei, today is the family competition. Do you want to lose face in such an important occasion?" The elder said coldly, "So what if he was a genius? I only know that he is now a waste. For the family, he is useless garbage. The family does not support idle people," the second elder said without giving face. "Then wait until your son comes back one day. At that time, we will consider reusing him again." That being said, they didn't think Mu Yan could come back. A waste who can't practice leaves the family. Is there any other ending besides death? Several other senior officials also persuaded Mu Lei to calm down. There is no way. Mu Lei can only warn them not to talk about Mu Yan casually, otherwise don't blame him for turning his face and not recognizing people. When the quarrel on the stage, the competition in the compound also came to the most exciting stage. The last two people left were indeed Mu Tingting and Mu Kun. The two stood on the ring, attracting everyone's attention. "Sister Ting, I will not show mercy." Mu Kun's handsome face had a faint smile. Mu Tingting unconvincedly raised her immature but growing chest and said loudly, "Brother Kun, I will also try my best. You take it." As soon as the voice fell, the two of them fought each other. They are all the pride of heaven, and the battle is really exciting. The powerful aura overflowed from their gestures, and even the space above the ring seemed a little distorted. The top leaders of the Mu family were also very satisfied with their performance. After dozens of rounds, Mu Tingting gradually fell into a disadvantage, and was finally knocked off the ring by Mu Kun's palm, and the Mu family competition finally ended successfully. Brother Kun is mighty. Brother Kun is invincible. I said, Brother Kun is the first genius of the Mu family. Who is his opponent? Tingting is not bad, she won the second place. The audience cheered. The elder's face was filled with a satisfied smile, and his figure flashed and appeared on the ring, and came to Mu Kun's side. Mu Kun wins this family competition. The elder announced loudly. The cheers from the audience became even more enthusiastic. Mu Kun raised his head proudly and accepted his own cheers and screams. It turns out that being the first in the family is so cool. I wonder what Mu Yan will think when he comes back and sees that his former little brother has become the first in the family. Mu Kun suddenly thought of this. With his strength, he can beat Mu Yan up. Both of them have undergone earth-shaking changes in both status and strength. he really hopes that Mu Yen can come back, so that he can step on the head of the former genius and enjoy this pleasure. Mu Lei was also watching the lively scene from a distance at this time, feeling unwilling. If Yenner is fine, he should be the one standing on the stage now, right? At this moment, a familiar voice came from the sky. Is everyone here? I, Mu Yen, am not too late. This voice fell into everyone's ears, and everyone looked around in surprise. This seemed to be Mu Yan's voice. Mu Yen, Mu Kun was shocked and looked for the source of the voice everywhere. Is he really back? Mu Tingting's delicate face also showed an incredible look. Mu Lei was stunned for a moment, and then he was overjoyed. He was not hallucinating, but really heard his son's voice. Soon, the Mu family saw two figures falling rapidly in the sky. When they were about to land, their bodies suddenly became as light as fallen leaves and stood firmly. Who else could the boy standing in front be except Mu Yen? Seeing this familiar and handsome face, everyone was surprised to confirm that it was really Mu Yen who was back. Mu Yen looked at the familiar family, and felt a little emotional. He was finally back. This time, he wanted to completely wash away the ridicule and shame he had carried. Grand Elder, why are you staring so wide-eyed? Can't you recognize me? Mu Yen teased with a bit of coldness. The Grand Elder narrowed his eyes, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Why did you come back? You are not qualified to participate in the family competition. Besides, the family competition is over, you don't have to come back to embarrass yourself. Chapter 9 Everyone here is garbage. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mu Yen couldn't help laughing, and didn't bother to pay attention to him. Instead, he looked at Mu Kun. Xiao Kun, are you pretty good? You got first place. The name Xiao Kun made Mu Kun's face darken a bit. Mu Yen used to call him that, but now that he is the #1 genius in his family, what right does Mu Yen have to call him that? Mu Yen, don't be so presumptuous. Brother Kun is the #1 in the family. Who do you think you are? As a member of the Mu family, why don't you salute immediately when you see the champion? The young people around him started angrily yelling at Mu Yen, and there were several conspicuous ones who wanted to get Mu Kun's attention and screamed very loudly. Champion? Xiao Kun, you can't even beat me and you dare to call yourself the champion. Mu Yen sneered disdainfully. His words made everyone shocked and angry. How dare this loser speak rudely to the champion? Doesn't he know his own worth? Mu Kun was also angry. Mu Yen, don't think that you are still the genius you were before. Please pay attention to your identity. If you are unhappy, we will show you the truth, that he has long wanted to humiliate the former genius in front of everyone. Mu Lei knew what Mu Kun was planning, and immediately appeared next to Mu Yen to support his son. My son has just come back, and you know that he is not as strong as you. If anyone wants to bully my son again, don't blame me for being rude. Mu Lei is very protective of his calf. During the time when Mu Yen became useless, he was away performing family tasks, which made him feel that he failed to protect his son. I owe my son too much. Now, no one can bully his son. Mu Kun held his head high and said, Uncle Lei, it's not that I want to bully him, it's that he is provoking me. Xiao Kun, you talk a lot. I could beat you before, and I can still beat you now. Mu Yen shook his head and smiled. With that said, he jumped up and appeared on the ring. Yenner. Mu Lei was a little anxious, worried that Mu Yen would fall into Mu Kun's provocation. Mu Kun is already at the 6th level of the foundation building stage, and his strength is extraordinary. Even if Mu Yen can practice again, he still can't catch up with Mu Kun. However, Mu Yen gave him a reassuring look, and he couldn't say anything else. // You really dare to come up here? You're looking for death. // Seeing that Mu Yen had actually come to the ring, Mu Kun showed a cruel smile. He could finally trample Mu Yen under his feet. Mu Yen shrugged his shoulders. It doesn't matter, trash is still trash no matter how loud it screams. These words made Mu Kun furious. He, a dignified champion, was called trash. Who are you calling trash? The aura in Mu Kun's body burst out with anger, forming a strong wind that swept across the arena. Hey, Don't get me wrong, I'm not targeting you, I'm saying, everyone here is rubbish. Mu Yen looked at all the young people below with a bright smile, but his words completely angered everyone. You are so arrogant, you dare to say that we are rubbish? Don't think we won't beat you because you're handsome. Who do you think you are when you talk arrogantly? You loser who can't practice. Sure enough, countless curses suddenly erupted from the audience, and everyone was filled with righteous indignation and wanted to beat Mu Yen violently to let out a sigh of relief. They all felt that Mu Yan's brain must be broken, and he still thought that he was a genius that everyone respected in the past. Don't waste time, everyone come together. Mu Yen laughed loudly. He came back not to defeat someone, but to defeat everyone, and to let everyone know that he had changed. After hearing his words, everyone burst into an uproar, thinking that they had heard wrongly. He actually challenged everyone at once. Is there really no water in your brain? Dozens of strong men in the foundation building stage swarmed him, and one of them could be beaten to death with just one slap. Why would he say such cruel words? Mu Lei was also anxious, worried that Mu Yen had lost his mind. At this time, several young people had already jumped onto the ring. After the first group of people, everyone jumped onto the ring one after another and stood behind Mu Kun. Even Mu Tingting was among them. Mu Yen, why bother? You will only bring humiliation to yourself. Mu Tingting shook her head, extremely disappointed with Mu Yen. How could the high-spirited genius boy in her impression turn into the incompetent, arrogant and stupid person he is now? Just for the sake of one breath, do you promise to challenge everyone? No one with any brains can do such a thing. She used to admire Mu Yen very much and was simply his follower. Now she is glad that she is far away from Mu Yen. Such a stupid person is not worthy of her admiration and love. Moreover, they are already the same kind of people, and they are destined not to belong to the same world. At this time, Mu Yen was isolated and helpless in the ring, feeling like he was fighting against the world alone. However, his body was upright and he always had a faint smile on his lips. To outsiders, he looked like he was seeking death, but he was full of confidence. Mu Kun became the leader of everyone, and the expression on his face became even more proud and arrogant. Did you see it? It's me who has the final say in the Mu family now, and you don't even count. Now kneel down and kowtow to admit your mistake, and I can consider letting you go. Mu Kun burst out laughing. Upon hearing his words, Mu Yen felt extremely childish and ridiculous. What is the Mu family? Compared with Kunlun Holy Land, it's not even as good as a hair. In terms of identity and status, as the chief disciple of the Kunlun Holy Land, he is many times higher than the Mu family. For him, the small shepherd family has long been ignored by him. This chapter is not finished yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. I will also give you a chance to join forces directly, otherwise I'm afraid you will lose miserably. Mu Yen still had a calm tone and did not think that his situation was dangerous at all. His indifferent attitude made Mu Tingting unable to stand it anymore. She stood up with disappointment in her eyes. Mu Yen, do you want to be everyone's joke? Okay, I will talk to you first and let you know how cold reality is. Having said that, Mu Tingting was about to take action, but was stopped by Mu Yen. Mu Yen frowned. I asked you to come together. Is it because you can't understand people's words? The great elder had a sullen face. Ever since this boy showed up, he has become very arrogant and uttered arrogant words again and again. Do you really think that no one dares to take action? Kuener, he's so crazy, just do what he says. Everyone takes action together, no holding back. The great elder gave the order expressionlessly. With his words, everyone stopped thinking too much, and even their smiles became much more ferocious. After all, it was Mu Yen who was seeking death himself, so he couldn't blame them, right? Ignorant person. Mu Kun snorted disdainfully, then used his spiritual power to kill Mu Yen. Mu Tingting's eyes were also full of coldness, and she was merciless in her attacks. For those who didn't know, she thought she was fighting the enemy who killed her father. The remaining people also took action with a fanatical attitude, using various tricks frequently, and chaotic energy enveloped the entire Mu family compound. When dozens of strong men in the foundation establishment stage take action together, the scene is so terrifying that even those who have just entered the golden core stage will retreat. But Mu Yan seemed to not feel any danger and remained standing still. Mu Lei in the audience was with his heart in his throat, always ready to rescue his son. Just when everyone thought that Mu Yan would be blasted to pieces, an even more terrifying aura burst out from his body. This breath also carries a blazing high temperature. Everyone who sensed this aura was shocked and screamed as if they had seen a ghost. Golden Elixir Stage. Chapter 10 Champion. Is it rare for me, the eldest disciple of Kunlun Holy Land? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everyone present stared at Mu Yan with eyes wide open, and the shock in their hearts rolled endlessly like a raging sea. When did Mu Yan become a Jindan stage expert? In the Mu family, there were only a dozen Jindan stage experts. Did he really encounter any adventures during his training? Mu Lei was so excited that he wanted to roar to the sky. His son was not a waste, not a garbage, but a Jindan stage expert. Taiwan Novel Network. In the blink of an eye, a ball of fire appeared in Mu Yan's hand, and the temperature of the air around him suddenly rose. He rushed directly into the crowd, sweeping a large number of young people from the Mu family with an unmatched posture. The blazing flames seemed to have turned into a fire dragon, impacting back and forth on the ring, releasing amazing energy. When they met the strong men in the Jindan period, the arrogance of these young people became vulnerable. They were burned black all over with just one move and finally knocked off the stage. Mu Tingting only felt an unprecedented hot flame coming towards her. She subconsciously waved her sword to resist, but the dazzling sword light seemed vulnerable. She was blasted away by a fire dragon, fell to the ground hard, and coughed up a mouthful of blood. What's wrong with his strength? Why did he become so strong? Mu Tingting's heart was full of horror, confusion and disbelief. For her, Mu Yan was no longer the genius who was qualified to make her admire and love. The two were not in the same class at all. However, she looked up at the tall figure on the stage covered by the gorgeous flames, and suddenly felt very regretful. Could it be that the former genius has returned to the throne again? Is he going to shine again and suppress everyone? If this is true, her choice has become a wrong choice. Mu Kun was also hit in the chest by a flame. The terrifying power and temperature made him lose half his life. He flew backwards like a rag sack, and only stopped after he broke a huge pillar in the distance. Ahem, he crawled out of the ruins with difficulty, covering his sunken chest with his left hand, and his eyes were full of fear and shock when he looked at Mu Yan. Has his strength recovered? No, he is stronger than before. Mu Kun felt that he was as weak as an ant in front of Mu Yan, and could not withstand a single blow. That terrifying flame seemed to be able to burn everything. Just getting closer would burn the spiritual power in their bodies. The fear that was once dominated by Mu Yan surged into his heart again. The flaming figure on the ring was like the ancient fire god in the world, with extremely high temperature and invincible aura all over his body. I lost. I don't know if it was fear or unwillingness, or pain that made him tremble all over, and another mouthful of blood spurted out, and he fainted immediately. What? The first and second elders could not sit still. The chairs under them were shaken into powder, and their breath became messy. They stared at Mu Yan in shock, almost unable to believe their eyes. In their cognition, Mu Yan was still a waste, and a waste who only knew how to talk nonsense, and was useless to the family. Facing the siege of dozens of foundation-building masters, he would only die miserably. But no one expected that all the young people of the Mu family were defeated in just one encounter. Even the strongest Mu Tingting and Mu Kun lost miserably. The situation changed so quickly that they didn't react, and the arena was cleared by Mu Yan alone. The remaining younger children of the Mu family opened their mouths wide and couldn't speak for a long time. In the past few years, Mu Yan's reputation as a waste has been deeply rooted in people's hearts. Children under 10 years old look down on him and think that only Mu Kun is the first, but now, the strongest idol in the children's hearts is so vulnerable in front of Mu Yan, and the invincible image in their hearts is instantly shattered. The 5 or 6-year-old children are even more mentally broken and burst into tears on the spot. This is an unprecedented shock to their young hearts. Only Mu Lei laughed happily, and couldn't wait to turn into a golden light and appear beside Mu Yan, excited to tears. I know, my son is definitely not a waste. Who of you dares to say that my son Mu Yan is a waste now? Muley roared at the surroundings with great pride, and he was bound to vent all the anger and frustration accumulated for many years. Facts have proved that his son is not only not a waste, but also a top genius. Such a young Jindan stage, which family has it? Muley's eyes were full of ridicule and provocation. He looked at the elder and asked loudly, "Elder, Yener defeated everyone by himself. How do you say the champion should be judged?" That the elder and the second elder and other senior leaders looked at each other in confusion, feeling complicated and undecided. Mu Yan's resurgence was equivalent to giving them a hard slap in the face, and no one wanted to admit it, but his record is obvious to all. Considering that Mu Yan is already a Jindan strongman and is indeed qualified to lead the younger generation again, the elder had to say, Mu Yan is amazingly powerful. He is the champion of the family competition. As he said that, the people of the Mu family took out the championship reward. The first box was opened, and inside was a green pill, filled with fragrance, which was the precious third-grade Xianqing pill. The level of elixirs in the wild immortal world is the lowest. The higher the level, the more precious the elixirs are. The third-level elixirs are very precious to those who are new to the golden elixir. This chapter is not over, please click on the next page to continue reading. The second box is a jade slip, which records the skills that only the family heads of the past generations can practice, which are Xian-level skills. Xian-level skills may not be a big deal in big sects, but for a small family like the Mu family, they are extremely precious, because most of the herdsmen can only practice lower-level spiritual skills. The treasure contained in the third box is a long sword with a cold light, and its grade has reached the level of a mysterious weapon. Just as Xian-level skills are precious, there are only less than 5 Xian weapons in the Mu family. Not to mention young people in the foundation building stage, even veteran powerhouses like the Great Elder would be excited to receive so many rewards at once. Mu Lei was extremely excited when he saw the 3 treasures. With the help of these 3 treasures, Yener's strength will surely reach a higher level. Mu Yan, accept your reward. In the future, you will lead the Mu family to a higher peak and create supreme glory. That the Great Elder reminded him expressionlessly. He also thought clearly that his own selfishness and preferences could never override the fate of his family. Mu Yan is indeed the most suitable person to be the future leader of the family. Everyone's eyes were once again focused on Mu Yan, waiting for him to accept the honor. But the corner of Mu Yan's mouth tilted, revealing a sarcastic and contemptuous smile. He said in a cold voice, "Champion. I don't care about it. These things can't even get into my eyes." That he didn't come back for the championship. Besides, as the top disciple of Kunlun Holy Land, the skills he cultivates and the resources he enjoys, especially the rags in front of him, can't be compared. If you collect this garbage yourself, you will lose Master's face. His decision surprised everyone. The atmosphere became cold again, the surroundings were even more silent, and every look in his eyes was full of self-doubt.